For me, kayak fishing is simple. A boat, a paddle, a fishing rod, and unspoiled water. The fish are big. The chaos is beautiful. It's angling's addictive final frontier, and I'm hooked. I'm Drew Gregory, and this is Hooked on Wild Waters.
Drew Gregory's Hooked on Wild Waters is brought to you by Jackson Kayak. We make fun. GoPro. Be a hero with GoPro. Bending Branches. Pretty, smart paddles. And Yak Attack. Rigging the dream.
On this Hooked on Wild Waters adventure, we are in San Diego, California. We're actually going to be taking a really cool trip on a mothership, this huge boat you can see right behind me. It's called the Islander. We got here a little bit early, and before we load the kayaks on, we're actually going to go out with Captain John here on the Islander and go get our bait. These guys are going to pick it up, load it up in the huge tanks in the back of the boat. They're going to keep this bait live and fresh for our big long trip out to San Clemente Island. So we're about to head back to the harbor, load up all the kayaks, meet the rest of the crew. We're gonna travel all night long, all the way out to San Clemente Island. When we wake up, we're on the prime fishing ground, so I can't wait. This is one boat I do not want to miss. It's a beautiful morning here on the Islander. We just got an incredible breakfast from Chef Rick. And you know what? It's just time to get in the water. I can't think of anything else I want to do than get out on this wild frontier right now and catch some fish. San Clemente Island is actually owned and operated by the Navy. There's a lot of closures right now on the island, so there's only certain areas that we can fish. A lot of areas are closed because the Navy SEALs are training here, or maybe they'll close off an area because they're testing, they're doing some bombing. That's kind of pretty unique about this island. On this episode, I've got my good friend Jared McGehee here. He's one of the Jackson Kayak pro staff, knows a ton about fishing in the Pacific waters. He's local to San Diego, so you know, we were here last year. We did good with an amazing 30-pound halibut.
We got a nice halibut last year.
You caught a nice yellowtail, so hopefully we can do it again this year, right?
Yeah, let's top it. Let's make it better.
I totally agree, man.
Let's get in the water. Let's go.
Way down. All right, last one in. First should be last, and the last should be first. That's what I'm going by. Thanks, guys. See you out there. On San Clemente Island, the best side to fish is actually the western side, which is what they call the weather side. Generally, there's going to be bad weather there, and you actually can't fish it. The wind and the big surf come and smash that side of the island. Unfortunately, on day one, it was just too rough out there. We couldn't do it, so we had to take our boat all the way to the back side of the island where it's calmer. There's not a ton of structure on this side of the island. You know, we're protected from the wind, but it's, as you can see, it's pretty barren. There's a lot of small pebbles. Every once in a while, we'll get to an outcropping of rocks that's a little bit bigger, as you can see here. That's more likely where we're gonna get our bites, if it's gonna happen. Right off the bat, we started catching calico bass. They weren't huge, but they still fight really hard, and I was reminded of how cool these fish are and how beautiful they are whenever I pulled the first one up. Obviously, you want to catch some bigger ones than this, but you know, just to start off, get our mouth wet a little bit, can't beat it. Jeez. Yeah. Cool fish. They're definitely cool. They fight, I think, just as hard as a smallmouth.
Yeah.
If not harder.
If not harder.
And you have two options when you're on San Clemente Island. You gotta make a choice. You can either stay close and keep fishing the shore for the calico bass where they live, or you can move out deeper and try to get halibut or yellowtail. It's not a bad little calico. Just imagine a 10-pounder like this. And because the calico bass weren't as big as I'd hoped, I decided to move out deeper. All right, so a little technical difficulties here. My reel's not exactly engaging like I would like it to. And I've got this fish on so I can barely even bring it in. I don't know how big it is. I see the school of bonitas start swimming by, and sure enough, I hook up, and they fight really, really hard. I'm shocked at how hard these fish fight. They can just grab these by the tail, huh? I don't think I've ever caught one before. Woo, feisty fish. Got a reel. All right, in the back of the head here, there we go. It's a nice little fish. Man, they are pretty. Look at that, the shimmer, the blue. I mean, it matches this water so perfectly, you can tell. Deep blue. And that is a pretty fish. It's not the conventional way to bring in exactly. Getting a little hungry, it's about midday. The Islander has kind of moved down. We've almost drifted all the way to it. We caught a few fish. Scenery's incredible, and you know, the big one is still out there somewhere. What's the word, boys? What do we got for lunch? We hopped back aboard the Islander for lunch, and man, Rick had cooked some really good stuff. Cheers, guys. After that, Captain John had moved us further down the non-weather side of the island to a place that we fished last year and had done really, really well. There was actually some steep cliffs, a little bit more of the terrain where the big calico bass like to hang out. So the more chaotic and the more wild this gets, the easier it is for a bigger fish to hide in all this white water, the foamy water, and ambush their prey. It's just a smart, you know, hunting strategy. Unfortunately, it's a lot more difficult to fish. Woo! There we go, nice. Nicer, a little bit nicer calico. Nice. They're getting a little bit bigger, they're getting a little bit bigger. I love this stuff though. There's so many things you gotta keep up with at one time so you don't crash and burn. I absolutely love it. I live for it. The crazier the water, the more I wanna be there. Oh, fish on! Fish on! It's like a pretty good one. They hit it hard. Oh, there we go. Come here, girl. Not bad at all. There we go. A little bit bigger maybe than the last one, so they're growing a little bit more. Man, how fat, healthy, awesome fish, awesome environment. This is a ton of fun. It's a shame it's gonna get dark here in about an hour though. On the bright side, we got an hour. So the next morning, I woke up to the roar of the engines, and I was hoping that meant we were moving to the good side of the island where the better fishing is. Hawaii, Japan is that direction. All the Pacific Ocean, the waves and the weather is coming this direction, hitting this island. So maybe if we can just get these kayaks in, we'll catch some big fish. Day 2 was special to me because I got to fish with a good friend of mine, Andy Allen from OEX and kayakfishingsupplies.com. And it had been a while since we had wet a line together, so having him tag along with me that day and show me some of the techniques that he uses to catch, you know, halibut and sea bass and yellowtail and the calicos was welcomed. Andy, should we just drift into this beach or just keep doing what we're doing, I guess, or what do you think?
We're just gonna keep drifting through here.
All right.
Even if we catch one that isn't even legal, it's a good sign that we're in the right area.
Off to the right-hand side, I see this beautiful island with birds all over it, seals, waves crashing, all the chaotic turbulence that, you know, calico bass love and I love to fish in. I mean, this is wild waters after all, right? So I made a beeline straight to the island, started casting for calico bass. Fish on, fish on. It's got me hung up in the kelp though. I gotta get in and get him out. Get out before I get hammered by some waves. Ugh. Let that guy flop there for a second. Get my butt out of here quick. You never know when a huge set of waves is just gonna come up and break way sooner than you expect. So it's a pretty dangerous game. But you gotta get close to get some of these fish. It's like you gotta get in, catch your fish, horse them in, and get out quick. It's not a bad one. You know, this is not the biggest fish in the world, but when you're catching it up in the Boiler Rocks, right behind me here with all that turbulence and white water, That is what you call a wild waters calico bass. I was really proud of that calico bass. It was my biggest ever, but it still isn't a real trophy. And that's what you come out to San Clemente Island to catch, is a trophy calico bass. The conditions are looking perfect. I'm making my way down the bank and I'm catching a fish like, every few casts, wham, calico bass on. They're not huge, but I'm thinking if I keep doing this weather stays the same, and I don't run out of daylight, I might just get my big calico bass. Real good fish. There's gotta be more. So I go along the bank and I see these beautiful sea caves. I mean, like really tucked in deep. Fishing like this reminds me of when you're doing something you're not supposed to do, you're always looking over your shoulder. Because we're constantly looking back over our shoulders at these waves coming in. This is a really good looking spot. I make a cast in there with my spinnerbait. Wham! There we go, fish on. Oh man, feels like a good fish too. When it's pulling me into where I don't want to go, I know it's a good fish. It's in the kelp. And I'm about to go into the cave. I'm winding myself into the shore, into the kelp, which is further into the wild chaos and the turbulent dishwasher machine type environment. I finally free this fish from the kelp and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a giant. Ugh. Oh crap. This is wild water right here. This isn't wild water, this is insane water. I gotta get out of this washing machine and back to safety so I can show you guys this fish. But more importantly, so I can be alive. Fish isn't that important. That's some wild water right there. The size of this thing. The size of this calico, dude. It's gotta be an 8, 9 pounder. It's huge fish. Look at this environment they live in. Look at this place we're at. I mean, this has been one incredible day and it couldn't have ended any better. I definitely have to thank all the guys at the Islander, Captain John, the entire crew. It was an amazing trip. Amazing guys took care of us and allows us to have opportunities like this. Woo!
Drew Gregory's Hooked on Wild Waters has been brought to you by Jackson Kayak. We make fun. GoPro. Be a hero with GoPro. Bending Branches. Pretty, smart paddles. And Yak Attack. Rigging the dream.